Imagine you have an important task to do. You know you should start, but instead, you find yourself cleaning your desk, watching one more video, or suddenly feeling the urge to reorganize your entire room. Why? Is it a simple lack of willpower, or is there something deeper at play? It turns out, procrastination isn't just about poor time management, it's a battle between different parts of your brain. One part is logical, rational, and future-focused. The other part, it craves comfort, pleasure, and instant gratification. And in that battle, the present moment usually wins. But procrastination isn't a fixed trait. It's a pattern, a habit. And like any habit, it can be changed. So today, let's go beyond the surface. Let's break down what's really happening in our minds and bodies when we procrastinate and how we can finally take back control. Before we get started, if you're interested in learning more about pharmacy and medical science, subscribe to PharmCore. Part 1. Psychological. We've all faced procrastination in some form. It's that inner voice telling you to avoid the task at hand, often because it feels too overwhelming. When you're up against a big project, your brain instinctively wants to protect you from the stress and anxiety it brings. Instead of jumping in and doing it, you put it off. It's like when you're about to start a difficult task and your brain says, maybe later, this is just too much for now. But it's not just about avoiding stress. Our brains are wired to seek rewards, and tasks that are easier and quicker to complete seem more appealing. So, when faced with something that feels hard or requires effort, your brain will steer you towards something that's less taxing, something immediate. That's when procrastination wins. Part 2. Physical. But it's not just your mind that's involved. Procrastination also has a physical component. When we avoid tasks, our bodies react too. Stress hormones, like cortisol, rise when we procrastinate, which directly affects our ability to focus. That's why the longer you delay something, the more anxious you might feel, and the more your body wants to pull away from the task. On top of that, physical energy plays a huge role. If you're tired, it's tough to muster the energy to take on something big. Our brains naturally seek ease and comfort, which is why we push things off until we feel more ready, which often never comes. Part 3. Why procrastination isn't always bad. Here's something surprising. Procrastination isn't always bad. Sometimes delaying action can actually give you the space to think things through more thoroughly. If you're deciding on your future career, for example, procrastinating a bit could be a chance to explore your options before locking into something you may not truly enjoy. It's not about avoiding work, but giving yourself time to make a more informed decision. Maybe you're deciding whether to get into a relationship, and everyone's asking, when are you getting married? But sometimes you need that extra time to think, right? Procrastinating on certain things can help you make better, more thoughtful choices. Ultimately, procrastination is a complicated issue that impacts us both mentally and physically. But sometimes, it's not all bad. It can give us time to think, reflect, and make better decisions. If you struggle with procrastination, remember that it's okay to give yourself a break sometimes. Just make sure you're not delaying everything in your life. Success comes from small, steady steps, and sometimes that means not rushing. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to PharmCore.